Alright.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of the Adam and Griffin Show. I'm just kidding, Real Estate Podcast. I'm here with Griffin,
I'm here with Adam.
and this is episode 130.
This is a
Milestone.
big- Yeah, right. It's a milestone, and somebody's not here to celebrate with.
Yeah,
What are we gonna do?
I don't know, man. But we've done 130 episodes.
I mean, might as well reformat it now and just shut it down and start over.
Start from the top,
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah, we'll just rewatch all those movies that we've already done.
Real Jerks.
We'll keep doing it until Travis gives Hateful Eight a full star.
I think that's wishful thinking.
How? He's not here, so we're allowed to talk about him. How?
Sorry, I was making sure the feed was working.
I heard it and I was like, wait a minute, I just said that.
Yeah.
How can you not like that movie?
The Hateful Eight?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's just do a whole episode about that.
Uh,
Let's pull up the Hateful Eight episode we did, listen to it, and review that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to do
I mean, we'll give the review a half a star because of Travis.
that.
I mean, you know how it is.
I do appreciate the fact that he will do a review, though, and say what he really thinks. Like, he's not pressured into saying that he liked it just because we did. So,
Yeah.
you got to give him props for that. I just wished it was been in like a different movie that he didn't like.
Well, that's why I like for Trav to go first.
Mm-hmm. To see what he really thinks.
Yeah, because if we sway him, he might be sitting there like, damn, these motherfuckers are right, you know?
What was that last one?
The last movie?
Yeah, that he got swayed on. It was a horror movie.
Oh, Brightburn?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Because we were just gushing about that movie before the pod even started.
Yeah.
How different it was and unique it was. Well, you know.
Damn, I kind of miss him. He's
Eh.
not here. This is the new full bat.
I was just playing. I miss for the most part.
So we're not doing the Doors this week.
Again.
I'll already give it a star.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a star as well.
2 times. We loved
Double
it 2
star?
times. Yeah.
It was good. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get there. But, I mean,
Oh, it cut out. Is there really a lot to talk about with it?
yeah. I mean, he was the first rock star.
He was.
I mean,
and then he didn't like it.
Well, I mean, does anybody really like it though?
I've heard a few people talk about it. Like they're like, once you're famous, you can't like go to the store. You can't, like you're pretty much just a prisoner.
Yeah. Well, that's why you
and it sucks.
Wear Slipknot masks and shit. I mean,
Could you picture Jim Morrison in a Jason mask? Mother?
Yes.
No, it sounds like this. Mother? Yes, mother. Because he's got a mask on.
They wouldn't have got kicked out if that would have been the case. Is Slipknot the new Kiss?
Yeah.
I mean it's right.
Pretty much.
Right? And
they took the Kiss formula and they just updated the music.
Added about 18 more members.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do you play? I play the grinder in this one song,
Yeah. I hit a can with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
I play the keg. Song. Didn't know that was an instrument.
It's an instrument if you put your mind to it.
Dude, I bet he's made this joke before when they go on stage and the sound guy's there. He's like, I need a 1/4-inch cable. I need to hook up my keg. It's electric.
Electric
Dude,
keg?
if I was him, I would put a jack on the side just to be funny. Like I want a
Just to
1/4-inch
fuck
right
with
here.
'em?
Yeah, plug it. I need to tune my keg.
You're over there hitting it in different spots so
Yeah,
it makes a different pitch.
trying to tune it.
Yeah. I don't think it's working, guys. Yeah, I would have a dummy keg that I'd be fucking with people with for sure. I'd take some tuner knobs and put onto it.
Yeah, volume
You
knob.
know. Yeah, hook it into a fucking tuner pedal.
Yeah,
What the fuck is this?
have a pedal board.
Yeah. Did you hook the keg into?
What's that pedal? That's my cock blocker.
Yeah. What does it do?
It's a noise gate.
It blocks the cock, you know?
The cock blocker's a real pedal.
I mean, I would use it.
The cock blocker noise gate.
That would definitely go in the arsenal.
It's got a chicken on the front of it, and the eye is a pentagram. Pretty cool.
If Slipknot is the newer age of Kiss, it's safe to assume that Marilyn Manson, or which one are you gonna pick, Marilyn Manson or Rob Zombie? Which one's the new Alice Cooper?
I was about to say Marilyn Manson is Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Marilyn Manson for sure. Because Rob Zombie kind of does his thing, but Manson, his whole stage show is just updated Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
What's that one guy, Rob Halford?
That's the guy from Judas Priest.
Yeah, that's Rob Zombie. Just kidding.
Except not as gay.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. I don't know what his preference is.
Well, he puts his damn wife in everything he does. She must have some magic pussy, dude.
Yeah.
It must grant wishes. He must kiss it 3 times.
I think, yeah.
GD flies out.
Yeah, if you rub it the right way.
Yeah. I don't understand, dude. Like
the Wishmaster comes out of it. Really not. She's like really not a good actress either. Really, I mean.
And she's okay looking.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't consider her one of the most.
She's
beautiful,
like weird, kind of hot. Like
kill you in your sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
She's kill you in your sleep hot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hey guys.
Uh-oh. We got a guest.
T-Rav. We are live. FYE. I mean, is that right?
Y'all doing all right tonight?
Yeah, how about you?
Oh, yeah.
Could be better, but I'm all right.
Shit, I know how that is. So what we were talking about, Trav, is Slipknot is like the newer generation of Kiss, right? And
I would think more so Gwar. But you're right. For argument's sake, I agree with you though.
But don't tell him who we said Manson. Now, who do you think Manson is? Like an updated,
modern day,
the newest, modern day Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, like who is he? Who did he kind of step up into those shoes? Like, just think about it. This is a one man, not a group or anything. It's just one guy. Crazy live shows.
Very theatrical.
Plays golf.
I feel like y'all wouldn't like my answer. So tell me what y'all have first.
I kind of want to know what you're thinking first, Trav.
Well, I'm trying to think of like the modern times because it's clearly not going to be somebody that's like shock rock or overly gothic looking. You know what I mean? It's the average Joe, but it's someone that just says some ridiculous shit.
So, well,
you might as well tell him.
So the Manson is the modern day Alice Cooper.
He's like an updated Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would it be safe to say that Foo Fighters is the modern day Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
I mean, who else could they be? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is superstar, megastar status? Like,
Well, yeah, you know, and the rock band, they're accessible to everyone. Yeah, I mean,
And they're gonna have,
there,
even if you don't like the Foo Fighters,
yeah.
you're gonna like at least one song, at least.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're the modern day Led Zeppelin without any of the esoteric bullshit that Jimmy Page brought to the game.
Yeah, Dave Grohl's like, yeah, we're not bringing that shit.
Yeah, Pots.
I'm good, you know. Um,
We're keeping Crowley out of this.
so who would be the modern day Elvis?
Mm.
You know?
Modern day Elvis.
50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong, dude. No one.
Well, it's kind of like the Beatles, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's not going to ever be another one. So, who would Tool?
Well, I feel like with Elvis, Tool is they're the modern day equivalent of a hybrid. Yes.
I knew you were gonna say that, dude.
Pink
Swear to God, I
Floyd
knew it.
And
Because I was thinking that.
And Rush maybe.
Yeah.
You got your long song time, you know, drawn out stuff, you know. They replaced the ringing telephones of Pink Floyd with ambient little
How? That's a
yeah.
different band, but same singer.
Same
I'm
idea.
still gravitating toward who Manson would be.
You don't think he's an Alice Cooper? Their live shows kind of over the top. The way they dress, you know, Cooper kind of dressed that way.
Yeah.
Or is Manson? What was that one crazy guy that would like cut himself on stage?
Oh. C.C. Allen? G.G. Allen?
G.G. Allen. Is that Manson?
Mm,
He didn't really play that kind of music though.
well, he didn't stick around too long either.
Well, he died, didn't he?
Yeah. Didn't he commit
Well, I feel like
suicide?
the new Manson is probably Tobias Forge from Ghost.
Oh, like
I
the
could-
new. Oh wait, we got to think. Ghost is like
The
they're on a
Ghost?
whole nother level of pageantry. Okay,
Well, Ghost is like the new Black Sabbath.
that's good.
They're more Blue Oyster Cult than Sabbath, bro. Or at least that's
Yeah.
just my opinion. Have y'all seen their video for Kiss the Goat?
That new one.
No.
I haven't
it's a really,
seen it.
really new one.
It's I saw it. It popped up in the feed, but I haven't watched it
No.
yet. I meant.
Oh
to.
my God! Now that my wheels are turning, Griffin, how could you dare call Foo Fighters the new Zeppelin? You know exactly who the new Zeppelin is, and you're the
Oh.
biggest goddamn fan of them.
Well, that
I
one
know.
group, the lead singer sounds just like him. What's their name?
Greta Von Fleet.
Yeah.
No, dude. Like, where does Coheed fit in this modern day comparison? Who would you say they are?
Coheed's just
Rush.
Coheed, right? Are they?
Rush.
Because of the
If I had to-
voice and the jamming, like.
Well, just because of like, just take the idea of Rush, like 2112, for example, like they built this masterpiece, the concept album, and they took that idea and they spanned it over how many albums now? You know what I'm saying? So you've got that, you've got, the time changes, the progressiveness in the songs, the real catchy melodic parts. It kind of goes together.
And their production, I think like, yeah, I can agree with your statement, but wouldn't you also say that maybe through the concept albums, through the overarching narrative of the band and the production quality of their live shows, you've been to several, so maybe it's testament to you for it, but they're like Zeppelin they're Rush, but peppered with just a little bit of Iron Maiden seasoning.
Oh yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
I watched a
Because
video.
they'll be in the middle of like a regular ballad, like your modern day power ballad, I guess. 5 minutes later, he's like Claudio's shredding on a double neck Gibson, you know?
Yeah.
I watched this video where they brought in, you know, those videos where they're like people react to those things.
Yeah.
They brought in these like old timers, man, that like grew up during the Led Zeppelin, you know, era,
Yeah.
and a lot of them were Zeppelin fans. And what they did was they were like, oh, so what they were doing, they were playing deep cuts. They were doing deep cuts Zeppelin and some Greta Van Fleet, and they play a short clip and see if they could tell them apart. And a lot of times they kind of, you know, there were a few times where they were like, well, that's Led Zeppelin. It was like, nope, Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah.
Because they got several songs where it's just, I mean, pretty
Yeah.
much just sound just like them.
So who do y'all think is the modern day Manson?
Well, when we were saying that, we meant like, you know, who did Manson kind of step up and replace?
Yeah. Yeah.
And our thing was Alice
Oh.
Cooper. Like
Yeah,
My apologies. I would have totally said that right out the gate. I thought you guys were thinking like, who
replaced
younger,
Manson?
Yeah, who of the younger artists is going to be the next Manson?
I don't think
bad.
there will be another Manson.
No, there will be. Somebody.
I don't know,
will step
man.
up
Dope
to do
show,
that.
dude.
Well, can I test the waters with y'all?
I mean,
So Marilyn Manson, one of his not now. I'm trying to not enrage my wife here because she was an old school Manson fan. But just hear me out. You've got the dark aesthetic of Manson. The vague writing of his lyrics that you can quote, you know, you can pull a quote out and slap it on a Facebook post, you know.
yeah.
With all that said, Billie Eilish.
Yeah, dude. I can see that.
Yeah.
And it's like
Nah, I
she's
get
pop
exactly what
as
you
fuck,
mean,
don't
dude.
get me wrong, but like the weird
Kind of
videos,
gothic. Their videos are
like-
really weird.
yeah, like it's not.
Have y'all
gothic,
seen the
but it
newest
is,
one
but
where
it
she's
isn't.
walking down the road and the wings are on fire?
No.
Dude, she rises up out of this. It looks like oil or something, and she's like a fallen angel. And she starts walking up the road, and her wings are like weighed down, wet. You know, the oil's all over the wings, and then they catch on fire as she's walking down the road singing, and you know her eyes are turning back in her head and shit. Like,
And
I
now
get
when
that. I
and
see
now
what
when-
you're saying.
And now when we're doing these picks, obviously we got to stay the fuck out of the underground because that's too deep.
Yeah, those waters are murky.
Yeah.
So, and you know, obviously there's probably that one artist that neither of us have heard of that just fucking nails everything old Manson was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the sake of like someone who's selling tremendous amounts of records,
She's
making
blowing
a
up.
complete. Yeah, I feel like she's
She's blowing
filling
up.
she's filling the oddball role for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably as close as we're gonna get to a mainstream controversial type Manson figure anymore.
Yeah. But I think that once she gets of age, her whole
Image is going to change.
everything's going to change.
Yeah.
Everything. I think that her music, her presentation,
Mm-hmm.
everything is going to completely change.
Yeah.
Now, are we saying in a more successful way or a more of like a
Definitely going to dress a
Smaller.
little more sluttier
like in a
when she's
So you
not
think she-
16.
so you think she will fall into the degraded slopes of her predecessors?
Yeah, because she wants that fucking greenback.
Well, she even said it.
Yeah.
She's on record as saying that
She
she
wants
can't
to be.
wait.
Yeah, she wants to be viewed as like a sex symbol.
Yeah. They just
Which is
can't
fine.
do that now because she's a kid.
Yeah.
So that's why she wears the baggy clothes and
Well, maybe some sort of better artistry will come out of her between now and then, and she'll be an actual artist and not.
Well, you know, her brother writes all that music. She
Yeah.
does her little weird singing on it, but
Her
he's the one
whispering.
behind all those tunes, and they recorded all that shit like in his bedroom,
Yeah.
home studio style, that's impressive, you know. Blowing up, man, headlining those
Wait,
music festivals and shit.
well, way to take the thing that a lot of people have. Never happened to me, but I've been around groups of friends who do it. Way to take the whole, dude, your sister's fucking hot. Take that idea and run with it.
Yeah.
Well, and you got to think about it this way too, like, because she's what, 14,
Nah, she's older than that.
15,
I think she's like
17?
17 or something.
I just know
But-
that like isn't she an advocate for like trying to get pedophiles or some shit, or like isn't she dealing with some shit like that, or she's part of the current?
She's 17 too. She's born in 2001.
Yeah, I mean I know she's a fucking kid, but you know what I mean. That's not because she's on TV, because she's on the airwaves, because there are fucking perverts that get on the internet. Like clearly, she's got a very unspoken following,
Mhm.
right? There, I mean that's got to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen comments
my-
and stuff.
I mean,
Oh.
Miley's clearly. I mean, back to fucking like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears.
I gotta show y'all this, and I got when you say that about her. Okay, so you see this picture?
Hold on. I'm in the bathroom.
So in that song, I remember seeing this video because it went viral, with millions of hits. But in the song, she's talking about getting down on her knees for some guy and making her and bruising her knees for him.
Right.
And then it shows her sitting there like that, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? I mean, what do you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you got all
So
these
she's
dudes.
the-
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
bruising my knees for you. I mean, how
Well-
you bruising your knees? What are you down there doing?
Well, that's the transition, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's her transitioning, because she might do one more little, one more, I guess, touring cycle album, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
of what she's currently doing. And then she's going to come out, her hair is going to be a different color. She's going to be wearing completely different. She might even change her name. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
it's going to be a complete rebranding. And it sucks that it's, but hey, I mean, if I
That's
had,
showbiz.
yeah, if I had that opportunity, I would probably take it.
I
So,
watched Miley Cyrus let the fans in the front row grab her pussy.
Yeah, I've
She
seen
let
that.
them.
She loves it, man.
Yeah.
So, what can you do?
But what's weird is how so she is the oddball.
Hmm.
She's kind of doing that thing. Why is it so popular now? Like, dude, Manson was big, but like she's popular with like the damn Coachella crowd, and I don't think Manson
Well-
ever played Coachella. That's not really his. Like, why is that cool now?
The Generation Xanax.
Xanarchy.
Is that what it is? Is that what
Yeah.
you call it?
Xanarchy. That little Xan
you
dude,
know-
he came up with that.
But like
I do know.
the opioid kids, man.
Yeah.
Because think of how minimalist Cloud Rap is, how minimalist Billie Eilish's music is.
Yeah. Like, what was the Gucci Gang guy? All that shit. That
Yeah.
him, and then the one dude that went to jail, rainbow hair.
6ix9ine.
He was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. But popular as fuck. Like, for some reason, it's just like, okay, this counts as music now.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, and the thing is like, there's a lot of really good music being created right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a lot of it's almost too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to go on SoundCloud right now, and the front page is just gonna be just all this shit.
I mean,
Just tons of it.
Well, to be honest, think of all of the talent that we're not
seeing because there's too much.
Yeah.
The chuffa, man, you gotta cut the chuffa. Like,
Yeah. I mean, at some point, you got to be like, okay, just because you have a microphone and a computer and you went online and bought some beats from somebody doesn't make you a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
yeah,
and also, and I hate that this thought's even coming to my head, but, and I guess in the case of Devil's Advocate, isn't it safe to say that the state of modern music, where it's like, okay, fuck the record labels,
yeah,
we have streaming service, fuck management teams, I'll book my own tour,
yeah,
fuck this, it's almost like it's now we're realizing that we needed those assholes with cigars in the office.
yeah, to cut the
Yeah.
shit. Now there's
Yeah,
just too much.
while it seemed like it would be unfair for a genuine artist to go to someone like that and they turn him down and they're like, why? Well, because you're not what's fucking good, or you're more of the same, which is what a lot of the problem is right now. It spans across all genres.
Yeah.
You find one popular band, artist, whatever, and underneath them it sprouts into a root system of 60, 70, hundreds, thousands. Who knows how many fucking
Yeah.
people there are that are doing that same sound, that same song structure, that same vocal style.
Yeah.
Well, they even,
And
I saw a thing a while back where they were talking about when you listen to a lot of hit songs now, it's all got that same beat, man. That kind of like that bro country.
Yeah.
I watched a thing about that one time where they were talking about all these new pop country songs. They all have the same exact fucking beat. Because as soon as a song blows up, they're like, "Oh shit, let's ride that train." Everybody's digging that beat, that
Yeah.
that snap, that I forget what they called it. But when they started playing clips, it's like, hell yeah, it's all of these songs have like the same drums. It's the same fucking
Right.
tempo, beat, and everything because it's like people are, they're used to it. They already know it's working. It's a formula. It's working.
the same chords.
That's why when
structures,
you
all
have
that
someone
stuff.
come along though that's a singer songwriter and actually puts a little more time into some music,
Yeah.
it's something different.
Yeah.
Kind of appreciate that more. It's like, what does it sound like everybody else?
Right. Well, and that's
Well,
the thing. Like,
well, I feel like to add, I feel like it's relevant to the conversation. We've talked about it over the past couple of days since the last episode, and we were talking about the about Wintergotten's the Marble Machine, where dude's twirling the device. It makes that really cool melody and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ended up finding their set that they released online where he's got his whole band on stage and they even play the song that the machine does. They actually have an instrumentation, a bunch of instrumentalists doing it and whatnot. And they're great, but they are nothing that you would hear on the radio in America.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Because some of their songs would have, 2 minutes worth of accordion riffs in it, and then suddenly it's the xylophone again, and then suddenly there's a driving guitar riff, and it's just stuff that's good if you're just gonna sit down and like listen to music. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like something on your radio you've got to fill in the dead noise of work or anything. But when you like an actual music lover sits down, slaps some headphones on, and just starts the fucking the YouTube dive or Spotify dig or whatever you want to call it, and you come across artists that are not popular whatsoever, but they're just completely amazing, but they do
Mhm.
not have that popular mainstream song.
They don't
thing
have that
going on.
sound.
And I think it's a comfort thing.
Yeah.
Like because like for instance, there's the people who and I hate to deviate or not deviate, but to move to, I guess you'd call it that. I hate to go to like gravitate to metal all the time, but that's my particular genre of choice. But you have heavy metal bands that are on the air, and you can cut your radio on. You got your Five Finger Death Punch, you got your Tool,
Mhm.
you got your modern day Slipknot. All the radio friendly metal bands, Avenged Sevenfold, all of that stuff, and you have just bukus of fans that eat that shit up. But if you throw a Cannibal Corpse record on right beside them, they're gonna snarl and crawl back
Yeah.
like, "What?
Yeah.
I don't like that screaming shit." You
Yeah,
know,
why don't
like
they
everyone.
sing?
And it's like because you're too comfortable. You're too
Yeah.
comfortable with that same pop song structure, but with rock guitar and drums.
Yeah.
And
No.
some of that stuff, I feel like that's why you have these weird sects like the black metal scene in Norway. Like I get their message. It was completely eccentric and over the fucking top,
Hmm.
but I get it now because they were going for a complete rejection of what those bands I was talking about, what they were going for.
Yeah.
They still get they still get to squeeze in the fact that they're a metal band, but they're sacrificing their ability to branch out and do different things and have their 15-20 minutes metal odyssey or whatever. But no, they're still doing the same, song structure to Since You've Been Gone or some fucking other popular song that got really popular and everyone just started ripping its song structure and copying it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to just go on a fucking rant, but
No, I agree with you on that, man. But that's the thing. Like, you have people out there, and I feel like I consider us into this classification that search these oddities and these
Yeah,
interestings and these difference. We search
that
them
new
out.
shit.
Yeah, but and it's stuff like, all right, that band that Travis shared the other day, Enfold Darkness,
Hmm.
right? I'd never listened to them, and I had seen their flyers and shit, but never really listened to them. And then when I was mowing, I threw that album on, listened to almost the whole thing. Good. It was
Good,
really
it's
good.
real good, right?
Yeah. So, and it's like, it's different. It's
Yeah,
interesting. It's technical black metal. What the fuck does that even mean? But it works. You know
it
what I'm saying?
works.
Yeah. So it's
it's a
just,
good like drawing point. Like we're technical black metal. What is that? Let's find out. And you
Yeah,
cut the
listen.
record on, you know?
yeah. But people get so comfortable and get so into their niche
People don't like change.
box.
And
No,
you
they
know,
don't.
and yeah, and I don't say that from a level of superiority either. I'm just as guilty as well. I'm 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 just like every other guy where if you hear a tasty Black Dahlia Murder type of melodic death metal riff that stems from, like At the Gates and Carcass and all that kind of shit, it's the same thing. I'm just as guilty as the next, but being able to try to acknowledge it can kind of help you already start. That's like it's almost like acknowledging it is ripping the tape off the box so you can open it to get out of it.
Yeah. No, I get
You
you,
know,
man.
I think that's why. Of course, it's because like a lot of times we'll be playing games and stuff. Me and Griffin will be listening to some old ass music,
Yeah.
and it's the music we grew up on,
Yeah.
hearing it all the time, so we're comfortable with it. But back then, it seemed like you really didn't like. Now, a lot of people, it's like, well, that sounds like that song, and that song sounds like they all sound alike. Kind of, they all got this. I feel like back then you had more of everything was kind of doing its own thing, like
Yeah.
all
Well,
the
yeah.
shit didn't
Well,
sound alike, and
like back then when
you
you
had to
heard.
you had to do something different to make it, because you come in here sounding like Queen, they're like, we already got a Queen, we don't need a
Yeah.
Queen. I mean, what do you got?
Well, I mean, I feel like for the 60s and 70s, for all its worth and for all the good music we did get out of there, I feel like there should have been at least one record producer that could have grabbed one of those bands and been like, "Hey, I know you like to play that Hammond a good bit, but get that motherfucker out of here.
Hmm.
We don't need one more goddamn organ solo."
Yeah.
Or like with Pink Floyd, I wish someone would have told Roger Waters to stop and answer the goddamn phone.
It
Uh,
was a metaphor, man. Well,
But
and the thing.
for fucking like 8 records though, Griff, I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding, man.
Well,
But no,
it's
Oh,
fun
sorry,
to
go
go.
ahead.
It's fun to go back and listen to that stuff because I hear people all the time that say, "Oh, the only music that I listen to is what I listened to in high school." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like, do I still listen to the stuff that I listened to in high school? Of course. But I also listen to stuff pre-high school,
Mm-hmm.
and I find new stuff all the time that I
All the
absolutely
time.
love and enjoy. You know what I'm
Wi-Fi is the
saying?
best.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the great thing. You'll never ever be able to listen to all the music that's
Mm-mm.
been never. So just
and
find
and,
it where
and,
you
and
can.
and be able to actually take it in for what it's worth and get something out of it.
That's the great thing about going back and listening to those older songs. Like me and Adam has been on here several times. It's like, how did they do this part? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they recorded this live. How the
Yeah.
fuck did they do
Why,
that?
how does it sound this good?
Yeah, I mean it's
I'm
just
sure.
It's
I'm
50
changing
years
a shirt
old.
real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
yeah. Like we were listening to the Beatles the other night,
Oh my God, dude.
and we were just like, and we were listening. Remember, we were listening to all those different versions
Yeah.
of those songs, like
And different takes.
the different takes, the
Yeah.
different, and
Where
each
they
one
were
was different.
fucking with it and seeing, what if I do? Remember that one part where they did something and I went, like I don't do that.
La, 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 la,
Yeah.
la. It's like,
Mm-mm.
easy, motherfucker, easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go back to the other one. Take
Yeah.
one was better.
So it's cool to be able to go back and listen to that stuff now, older, with a little bit more knowledge, like musical
Of how
knowledge.
they were recording this shit.
Well, and not only that, but just to appreciate what they were able to accomplish at that time. It's fucking mind blowing.
On tape.
Yeah, it's you got to really give it up to them. Like, and like watching that Muscle Shoals documentary.
Oh man.
All that stuff. It's just like these guys were able to just capture lightning in a bottle time
Yeah.
after
The
time.
Swampers, dude, played on at least 30 hit songs, at least.
Yeah, if not more.
And they're just a bunch of hillbillies, dude.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of
of
country
rednecks.
dudes, man. Like,
Yeah, and
they play the
backwoods
hell out of a
Alabama.
guitar.
Yeah.
I'm back, guys.
They purposely started bringing artists down there to get them to. It was like, man, there's something going on down here in Alabama.
If you haven't watched that documentary, it's definitely worth a watch.
What was it called? You
I
remember?
think it was just called Muscle Shoals, wasn't it?
Something like that. Swampers, something. I wouldn't call it Swampers. I don't know. It was really good. Then I also watched one about that Stax studio out of Nashville.
Yeah.
I watched another one, and then I watched one where it had a lot of the Wall of Sound.
Yeah.
Phil Spector.
I've seen
Batshit
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can't argue with engineering. 20 top hits.
Another artist that does the Wall of Sound and executes it weird, albeit strangely, or executes it greatly, albeit strangely, is Devin Townsend.
Yeah.
His mixes are so dense, and it's not like you got to pay attention to hear that one chime. It's just that when you hear it, it's just so much coming at you at once.
It's so big.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of his videos imply. Like at the beginning, it's something small and insignificant, and then like a minute in, you're just getting slammed in the face with imagery and music, and just like take it in, take it in, take it in. Here's another reason to listen to it again,
Right.
What about this Tool, man? We got to talk about this. This is Tool drops a record 13 years later and outsells fucking Taylor Swift.
Taylor
and
Swift
doesn't every major song off the record, didn't it all chop the Billboard 25? I read somewhere that every song
Which is amazing because when you think about, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I know that the bitch is worth like $300 million and she, sells a shitload of records.
Yeah.
A shitload of records.
Yeah.
And for a band that for a band that hasn't put out a record in 13 years to just do that, like that. And what's crazy is, even though Tool made the record, they've got nothing to do with that. That is just the payoff of probably one of the most dedicated fan bases I've ever seen.
That's what I was gonna say, dude. Their fan base is dedicated, like
more dedicated than I would say a Grateful Dead cult. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's funny that her fans
got so mad, butthurt.
Yeah, they were like, "Who the fuck is Tool? And why the fuck is Taylor not number one?" Like,
Yeah.
dude, fuck Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's just doing the same old tired shit.
I'm backing Kanye on this. You know what I'm saying?
Did he say something? Oh,
No.
I'm gonna give you microphone back.
Yeah.
But Tool had one of the best albums of all time. That's what it should say.
Oh, what if he did do that? Wouldn't that be amazing?
He probably likes Tool.
I mean, who don't?
Man, I remember back in the day, dude, like when just a few of your friends knew who Tool was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you'd see somebody wearing a Tool shirt and just fucking give them the nod, like,
yeah,
you know what's up.
Yeah.
That's what blew me away, was in like just the past 5 to 10 years alone, especially coming out of the time period of liking heavy music where a lot of bands like Tool were sort of shunned and never brought up, even though we were all fans and we still listened to it. But, you know, you didn't bring up Tool when you're hanging out with people who are sucking As Blood Runs Black's dick like it's the Holy Grail or some shit like that, you know? And then suddenly they come to Huntsville one time and suddenly everybody has been listening to Tool for fucking decades.
Yeah.
They play in Huntsville?
Which it ain't, yeah.
Holy
which it ain't
shit.
no, I mean, at the end of the day, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Tool fan's a Tool fan. But it's odd to see that behavior happen.
Well, here's something that kind of goes along with that. Like when someone dies, and then all of a sudden, all these fans come out of the woodwork posting shit on Facebook. It's like, you remember when Prince died?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, motherfucker, you had never said a damn thing about Prince. And now all of a sudden, you the biggest Prince fan in the world. Like,
yeah.
And it sucks because it's like, it sucks that some artists or groups have to disband or die for their fame to really be, or for their art to be truly
Michael
appreciated,
Jackson.
I guess.
He was real big at one time, of course, but remember he fell off, man. He did some, something. Things happen.
He had his fall from grace.
But when he died, everybody loved him again. It's like, well, dude, if he was getting all this love when he was still alive, maybe he wouldn't have turned into a fucking, what he turned into. Like, he thought everybody hated him.
Fiend.
Yeah. Shit like that. What?
That's ignorant.
It's ignorant.
So ignorant.
This is the Michael Jackson from South Park.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched the documentary on him, the newer one.
I watched it. The one with all the I don't know if I believe all that shit, man. Like,
I'm pretty sure my wife watched it. I'm not sure.
Ask her if she thinks he did
the newest Michael Jackson documentary that came out. Didn't you say you watched that one? The one that was like he was tonguing assholes or something.
Yeah. I watched it and ask her if she thinks, from watching those two guys talk about it, what does she think?
Michael Jackson, I love.
She'll always appreciate Michael Jackson as the stage performer, but she could give a fuck about his private life.
Yeah.
Which I think that's how it should be.
We were talking about that a few nights ago. I don't give a fuck about somebody's private life. Like, I like Tom Hanks in movies.
I mean, when it comes, don't get me wrong. If there's circumstantial evidence, which there clearly is trying to be in the case against Michael Jackson. Well, here's the thing. Why didn't these
Leaving
cases?
Neverland.
Why didn't?
No way.
Let me ask you this, Travis, because I watched it. Both of these guys that accused him of this testified in several cases and said that nothing ever happened. Many, many times they did this. And now, 10 years after he's gone, they're both trying to cash in on the estate right now. They both
Right.
have a pending lawsuit. But they kind of fucked themselves when they, you know, and we're talking when they were grown-ass men, dude. That last time he got in trouble, you know. He was the kid with cancer, was staying with him, and they said he, like, slept in the bed with him naked. I mean, I don't know what happened, but here's the thing. The one guy said that he talked about him making him bend over so he could look at his butthole. Well, the other guy didn't say that. He didn't say nothing like that. That never happened. So he only wanted to do it with the one kid. He didn't do it with all of them. If he's into looking at buttholes, wouldn't you think he would have been doing that to the other guy too? Because from what he said, shit went on for years, and he never looked at your butthole, dude. I just don't know, man. When you got that much money, and your fucking handlers are stupid enough to let you have all these kids around, and come on, man.
Yeah.
I get it, dog. You're the king of pop, but you gotta, you know, you can't be unsupervised with kids, dude. Not in this world.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
because you're a target, dude.
Now, has the public completely turned their back on R. Kelly yet?
The record industry has. So
I mean, I don't know. That's why I asked. I wasn't. Being
oh yeah,
rhetorical. I was
everybody.
just
He's been
wondering,
canceled.
like-
Cancel culture.
Now, when he dies, everyone will go through this. Oh man, R. Kelly was the shit. Remix to Ignition.
I believe I Can Fly will come back to number one.
Oh yeah,
for
dude,
about
it'll hit
2
number
weeks.
one. It'll sell 10 million copies on iTunes, you know? Here's who you need to be angry at after watching that documentary. The parents
Yeah.
got way too caught up in the fame, the traveling.
Because who?
They never should have let
who
their
in their
kids
right
sleep
mind-
in the bed with a grown-ass
who in
man,
their-
ever.
Who in their right mind would have?
And they should be jailed.
Regardless. Like who is that naive of a
That's
human
like
being to go,
prostituting
you
your
know
kid
what?
out.
I'm gonna let my child go stay for how many weeks with Michael Jackson and
Weeks, months, years.
summers? Like, I mean, that's just bad parenting.
Now, the one reason they said that he liked hanging out with these kids, you know, he didn't have a childhood,
Buy a house.
and
Buy them a house. They traded.
he didn't have a childhood. But then, when you're that rich,
Safe to parents. Michael Jackson bought them.
every adult that you probably come in contact with wants something.
Yeah.
They're just trying to use you. So
Yeah.
who can you hang out with and not feel like somebody's trying to use you? Kids don't. They don't know. They don't really get. They're not about that. They're just
Yeah,
kids.
they're-
They're the only person that's
but-
gonna be real around you.
But at the same time, though, you got to be aware that we live in a society where that's not acceptable.
No, I wouldn't let my
It's not
kid sleep in the
acceptable.
bed with him. Like, my kid could hang out with him,
I don't-
but not like
Yeah,
spend the night. And,
And like I'm there with them.
yeah. No, you
And-
sleeping in here with us, okay?
Well, we're not sleeping at Neverland. We're gonna hang out with Michael, and then we're gonna go the fuck home.
They claimed that when they would go stay, the kid in the bed with Jackson in another room. Who the fuck?
See, I
Who the
don't.
fuck lets them?
If
Now
you
they're all playing.
if you met a celebrity now, let's say you meet Post Malone, Adam,
Mm-hmm.
because you know how much we like Post Malone.
Mm-hmm.
I'd include Travis, but
He'll come
I ain't
around.
toasty.
would you be like 100% straight up with him? Like
Well,
no bullshit? Or
I
would you
feel
be
like if I want to
starstruck?
continue my friendship with him, I need to be.
Right, but
Post
know what I mean?
Malone, Post Malone looks like the guy that played in that band that may or may not have stolen one of your guitar pedals after the show.
well, he was in a
And he also played music like that at one time.
yeah.
He was in metal bands, played breakdowns. A little bit of all of it. But what do you mean by
rest my
straight up?
case.
Like, am I going to try to swindle money out of his ass? Or
No, just be like, oh yeah, everything you do is amazing.
no, I could say, yeah, I ain't really down with that allergic shit.
What about that song with fucking
See,
high
you
voice?
you need
Yeah,
people.
you need those
Tim
people.
Bieber. You need those people
No,
in your life, man, because it's like, you're making a record and you ask people, you want their honest opinion. How does
yeah,
it sound? And they're like, oh man, it sounds great, because they're afraid.
yeah,
They're afraid to tell you the truth. I'd be like, I don't know, man. Like,
yeah,
I ain't really feeling it. That's just my honest
right.
opinion. I would say that because how many times did you see
You
someone
would try
go?
to so you would try to battle the yes men that surround him.
How many times have you seen someone go on American Idol and get fucking embarrassed? And then they
Yeah,
say, my family told me I could sing. Well, they lied to
yeah,
you. Don't do that. If your kid can't sing, tell them, hey, don't be doing that in front of people. Like, unless you get better, I'm,
yeah.
I'm gonna be the one to tell you right now, don't, because videos live
Well,
forever.
yeah.
There's
Well, and I
people
mean,
that killed themselves that was on American Idol. They committed suicide because everybody was laughing at them and turned it into
well,
a joke. And
that's a whole different conversation, though. You knew what you were getting yourself into. I mean, there's a difference between
but
confidence and your
there's some
abilities and
people that do think they're good, and you need those people in your life to just tell you, no,
yeah.
don't do that.
But yeah, what I'm meaning is like, if he's like, hey man, what up, Adam? I'm Post. I'm Austin. Um, I got this new track. You want to come check it out?
Hmm.
And he brings you in there.
Are we
He
drinking?
cuts it on. Of course.
What are we drinking?
Um,
He can
Jameson.
drink Bud Light, but
Yeah,
I'm not.
you're
I don't
drinking.
really feel like pissing that much.
He's like, that's all I got. He's got a Bud Light
I'll drink
fridge.
Bud Light with him.
He's like, all right, I got this new track. I want you to check it out. And it's that goodbye song, Young Thug.
Oh yeah, I would tell him when it got to the Young Thug part. I'd be like, all right, this is good, this is good, this is good. When it hits the Thug part, I'm like, Because dude, really, they put it up, and the internet
The
recut the
internet
song
fixed it.
without him, and
Yeah,
and
it was better.
you can't understand the motherfucker, dude.
Yeah,
What's he babbling about?
I don't know.
I would have
He
told him,
bring
man. I would have been honest with him. I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, because that's what you need.
right.
You need at least one person that's not worried that you're gonna kick them out of the friend zone, like
Yeah,
kick you from the circle. I'd have been like, dude, I don't know about that shit.
right.
I don't like it.
Then after that, he puts. All right, I'm just gonna play some random songs from the new album. All right, next song, Allergic.
Uh-huh.
All right, it's
Everything
going.
but the chorus. And it's not everything but the chorus is weird. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean the other way around. Like the chorus is strange,
Yeah,
but the rest of it sounds good. But then that
yeah,
chorus kicks in, and you're like, whoa, dude, what the fuck?
yeah.
Dude, he's gonna slowly move away
Of course.
from rap music, and that's what he's doing.
I
He's
hope that
slowly moving away from it.
I hope he does that country shit he's been
Yeah,
talking
he's already
about.
said he wants to do country music, and I mean, when you see some of the videos of him playing guitar and singing before he was famous, he was doing fucking Bob Dylan songs and shit. Like he's
Yeah,
just a
better than
regular
Bob Dylan.
Charles, like yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah, we're starting a new podcast.
Charles talk, Solo Monk talk.
Well, welcome back to Solo Junk.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like you need those, and I think that it's healthy for people to be that way. That's like if I ever met like Kevin Smith and he's like, for real, I want you to tell me what movies you didn't like.
And why?
I'm be like, all right, and then I'm gonna lay it out
Cop
there.
out. Nah, I'm just kidding.
But you know what I mean. I'm gonna be like, look, on the whole, Jersey Girl is not a bad movie because George Carlin's performance in it was fantastic. Like people shit on that movie, but at the end of the day, it's a fantastic movie because of George Carlin's performance in
Why
it.
did they shit on it?
Because of Ben Affleck. I mean, pretty much, right? Because that came out during the Bennifer.
Which is weird, dude, because he's
He's
Academy
Batman.
Award winning
Yeah.
actor and director.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen The Town?
Yes.
That shit's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's real good.
I haven't seen The Town, but I have seen Argo, and Argo was very good.
Dude, watch The Town. It's a bank
need-
rob movie. Dude, it's good, man.
We need to do it on the pod.
Yeah. Oh, I'll
need to
watch
put
it
that-
again.
Yeah, I'll watch it again too. But you know what I mean though. Like, and I think that kind of goes with the Doors movie too. Like, Jim Morrison needed somebody around him that was like, stop, please.
Well, the drummer and him, they had it out regular. I mean, they were,
Yeah.
you know, they liked each other as long as he wasn't drunk, which was never. So,
Right.
dude, he was trying to build an image, man. And it worked. I mean,
Too much.
Yeah, he finally went too far, and he hit a depression because of that. Because he said, everybody looked at him like he was a fool,
Yeah.
and that's when he didn't want to play no more, man. He's like, I'm taking a break, I'm moving away. Like, his problem was his girlfriend, live-in partner, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
What do they call that? They were common law marriage,
Right.
She was a heroin addict,
Yeah.
so he'd come home and find her in the bed with her dealer.
Yeah.
And burn the fucking house down, dude.
Yeah.
Caught her in the bed with a dude, and I was like, God damn, the fucking right, dude, Fucking right, burn that bitch down.
Locked her in the closet and burnt it down.
He said, you want a trip? I'll give you a trip. Started pouring gas all over it. Lit that shit on fire.
Do you think he faked it?
His death?
Yeah.
I do know from doing some research that before he moved away to Paris, he went in and asked the guy, what was that, Elektra Records or whatever? What was it? Was it
Yeah,
Elektra? He went in there
think
and
so.
asked the guy, like, what would happen if I went away? And he's like, what do you mean went away? Like, how would record sales do, like, if I was gone for good? And he said, well, I mean, most of the time when that happens, people start, reminiscing. They want to go, as soon as someone dies, I
Yeah.
guarantee you the Cars, because it reminds people, and they're like, oh yeah, the Cars, man, I used to love the Cars. So they would go download all their music and play it and stream it and listen to it.
Yeah.
If you pull up a Cars video on YouTube right now, there's going to be a shitload of comments talking about RIP, and that's the only reason they're watching it.
Yeah.
So he told him, he's like, well, I mean, all these other people blew up. He was a big fan of a poet that did the same thing.
Right.
Faked his own death and tried to come back
Now,
because everyone
now, are we
hated his
saying
poetry.
Now, are we entertaining the idea that Jim Morrison faked his own death?
I don't know. I mean,
I am. I don't know about Adam.
you know the cemetery there that he's buried in?
Yeah.
At that cemetery, they said they won't allow any Americans to be buried in it. Like, you got to be, French to be buried in that fucking cemetery. But he's buried in it. The grave is about 1.5 feet too short. Like, the
Yeah.
only way they could fit him in that grave, dude, is if they crammed his body, like bent his legs in and shit. It's too short. There's just no way. Even the first time that Ray Manzarek visited the grave, he was standing on it, and he said, he can't fit in this. Look at it. Look how short it is. Like, it's just no way.
Right.
Instead of buying the plot, it was leased. He told their guitar player, Robbie, before he left and went to Paris, he told him, he said, 20 years after I die, expect a phone call. I don't know, man. I know
Well,
he was
here's
trying to escape jail time. Like, he
Here's-
didn't want to go to jail.
Did you see this article from 2016?
Where they think that he's Rush Limbaugh?
No.
I saw one of those.
That's wow. See this? I don't know how reputable this site is though. It's called Express, home of the Daily and Sunday Express.
What they saying?
Rocker Jim Morrison found alive, living as homeless hippie in
I
New
saw
York.
that. I saw the video. I don't think that's him.
You don't think so?
Nah, he's got like a country accent and shit. Like it don't
Right.
sound like Jim. Got the same nose though.
They do.
I did a side by side. I looked at them both. I was like, it kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
But he's actually going around telling people he's Jim Morrison, like, and he's homeless and now he's probably if he did fake his death, he's probably dead by now. But
Oh yeah.
y'all, he was in bad shape, man. Like that, all that drinking and stuff. Like he was like living in a damn. He was 27, but he had the body of like a 50-year-old.
Yeah.
But you know, he started getting fat and grew a beard, and he went to Paris. He could walk around. Nobody fucked with him. He didn't have,
Yeah.
you know, he could just walk around like. He even talked to a few of the bandmates before. Like one day, he didn't want to do music forever. That was just that was a pit stop. You know, what he wanted to do was poetry. So he could have faked his own death and then, you know, do poetry under another name
Right.
for the rest of his life. He'd have plenty of money. What's weird, Travis, is 3 months after Jim Morrison died, his girlfriend did too. She disappeared. She died, you know. If they were gonna stay together, then maybe, you know, she had to fake her death too to go be with him, go live in Bermuda somewhere.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they find in like let's just say this year
Hmm.
they find this house that has it, you know, when people find those houses that haven't been disturbed for 20, 30, 40 years,
Hmm.
they go in there. What if they find like what if let in this world, in this scenario, Jim Morrison faked his own death and him and her moved somewhere, got clean, and he wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote, but never released anything.
Hmm.
And there's just mounds and
And tapes of
mounds.
him reading it, and
Yeah, just yeah.
somebody's gonna
Could you?
make $1 million. Like,
Well, I mean, his estate is for sure, because that shit would be released almost instantly, right?
hmm.
But that's not a far fetched. I mean, in the same world where they think that Hitler escaped and was living somewhere in South America, you know,
Right.
I
I
mean,
was
it's not
about to bring that up. Whenever Hitler's remains were tested, as a female, the remains are from a female. So
yeah,
the remains that they have in Russia, it ain't Hitler, unless he was a woman.
yeah.
Now they won't let anyone test them anymore. They won't let us fuck with them. But they were
I was,
tested, and
I'll be honest, I was almost completely sold on the idea that Elvis faked his death. I remember several years ago,
well, I done some
I
research on that too.
stumbled on the YouTube videos of that guy that people thought that was coming on and doing YouTube karaoke.
Hmm.
And there were these videos of this woman who recorded it, where a dude, you know, he never flat out said it, but he talked in very vague ways, as if he, things where he's like, I'm really thankful that, you know, you.
A little bit of Junebug, a little
He
bit of
was just
Memphis.
being very. Well, he was just being very, being very grateful towards the person for being a good friend, and keeping it, listening to him because he lives a solitary life and shit like that, and like Elvis locked himself away up in the second floor of Graceland and just
yeah,
didn't
because they
leave,
wouldn't
and
let
then
people go up there.
and then the advent of the internet, and suddenly Elvis can get out there and fuck with people through the internet,
I'll say one more thing about Jim. There was a guy that did this like Doors like musical thing, and they had all these different Jim Morrisons in it. And this wasn't long after he died, a few years. The guy swears up and down, and he was maybe Jim's brother-in-law or something. Like knew him personally, you know.
Right.
He swears up and down that he came to the show. He's like, I saw him. I saw him at the show. He said it looked just like him. You know, I looked out and I could see him standing there at the back watching.
Right.
And he's like, I don't care what anyone says. I really believe that I saw him standing there one day. And it's one of those things where you want that to be real. I did my little research on Elvis too. He was about to go on a big tour, 77. Normally, before he would go on tour, he would order new suits. Dude, he did not prepare for tour whatsoever.
Right.
He didn't order any suits. He didn't do the normal, preparations that he would do for all the other tours. He didn't do none of that. He died on the anniversary of his mother's death at the same age she was when she died.
Right.
I know that he was going broke when he died.
Yeah.
He was spending too much money, and then when he died, shit, he made more money than he made when he was alive.
Right.
But who knows?
wanna
Whenever they called and said that Jim Morrison was dead, Ray Manzarek sent their manager to Paris, and he told him before the guy got on the plane, he grabbed him and he said, "Be sure it's him."
Yeah.
That's what he said. Be sure. Because he had talked about it, man. He talked about
Yeah.
doing that shit, disappearing.
Right. So what did the remaining members do once that happened?
What do you mean? Once he died,
Yeah.
they carried on.
But
they-
they only
they
released
toured.
2 albums.
They did. Well, a lot of times Jim Morrison wouldn't even show up for a concert, and Ray would have to sing. Or he would
Oh,
show up
really?
so far. Yeah, dude, he did a bunch of them. He could do all the songs while he was playing the keyboard,
Wow.
and ended up having to do it a bunch. The last show they played, Jim came out and he was real drunk. He was real upset because of the way the public was talking about him in the news, and he was just a drunken fool. He's real upset by that, and he didn't like it. So he came out on stage. He grabs a microphone stand. They get about a few songs in. He takes a microphone stand and smashes a hole through the stage, and then just walks off. They never played another show after that because the drummer was like, "I'm not doing this again. I'm done." And they just never played another show again. I don't think he got clean though, because he had a little bit of a drinking problem.
Yeah.
His father was the Gulf of Tonkin?
Yeah.
His father was the admiral of the ship that they did the false flag that started the Vietnam War. That's why he didn't
Right.
like his dad.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole other conspiracy theory that because there were all these people coming out of that one place there in California, and his father's somebody,
Yeah.
in the government big time. He pulled off a false flag
Right.
that started the Vietnam War. There's this whole thing over the years where all these people think that a few of these rock stars and what we would call now influencers,
Yeah.
were like plants, man, from the CIA. The CIA, the FBI had a file on Jim Morrison, a folder just full of shit.
Wow.
They found it
Really?
at the FBI headquarters. They found this file on Jim Morrison where they just been keeping track of all this shit for these years, and it's like, why would they give a fuck about him?
I wonder what all's in there.
But there's a lot of people that think that he was a plant, and that a few other people in the 60s were plants,
Right.
from the CIA or the government. I mean, he did have a connection to the government.
Yeah.
If you start watching that shit, of course they say some stuff that kind of makes sense. But Jim always told them, he said, one of these days I'll I'll get fat, put a suit on, shave my beard, cut my hair, and I could do radio or something. This is I'm not doing this for the rest of my life, this music thing.
Right.
But I don't know. We'll never know. Ray Manzarek, when they were in 2001, they were supposed to dig his grave up because it hadn't been paid, because it was leased for 50 years.
Yeah.
So they were going to dig the grave up. Ray Manzarek said, "I will be there when they dig it up, and I want them to open it." Even he wanted to know, open it. There was no funeral. There was no autopsy. They didn't do an autopsy. An American rock star dies in another country, and they don't do an autopsy.
Right.
They just say it was heart failure.
Yeah, that's
A little strange.
It's a possibility.
It's kind of like when that Justice, what's his name, Scalia died. Dude, like 3 hours after he died, they had him fucking cremated.
Right.
They didn't do any autopsies. Like, I'm not saying
Yeah.
he's still alive. There was just some fuckery there. Like,
Yeah. That's. I mean, I guess that would be the best way if you wanted to continue your life, though.
let me ask you though, do you perform an autopsy? I mean, dude, this is a celebrity.
On Jim Morrison,
Yeah, I mean, you have to, right?
I'm doing the autopsy, the toxicology.
Yeah,
I'm doing
everything,
it all.
the whole 9 yards. None of that was done.
Yeah, I mean,
None
it
of
don't
his
matter.
family was at the funeral. Like, no one was there. It was his old lady and a few friends, 2 or 3 people, tops.
I mean,
But essentially, no one.
yeah,
No one. Yeah.
enough people to say, "Oh yeah, we saw it."
His brother-in-law, which is his girlfriend, her brother, said there was a Russian guy or a German guy that they hung out with over there a lot. He was a heroin addict. Looked like Jim. Had a beard, but kind of looked like him.
Yeah,
He thinks it's him. He's like, I thought it was him. It looked like him more than it did Jim. And then, a few months later, Pam's dead. Now she's gone.
right.
Did they perform an autopsy on her? Did they? That's just,
Probably
there's something
not.
weird about them not performing an autopsy on an international superstar.
Yeah,
One of the first
I-
rock stars.
yeah, an
And
icon, a
a
legend.
doctor came in there, looked at him, and said
Who
heart
said?
failure.
Yeah,
Signed the paper. That was it. Bury him. How much money was he paid?
probably a pretty good.
Out of
fucking bid.
all of the celebrity stories where they're like they faked their own death,
Yeah,
his I can believe more than any of those. I think Elvis is dead, and if
Yeah.
if he didn't die then, he's dead by now for sure. But out of all of those stories, because they even said the same thing about Michael Jackson, dude. And I'm like, nah, dude, he's dead. Dude. He was already
He
dead.
did.
He was dead inside. His like there's evidence there when you start listening to these people's stories, and these are people that knew him, was around him, and
yeah,
one of his favorite poets was a poet that faked his own death and came back and wrote poetry under another name, try to reset his career.
yeah.
And they said Jim talked about that dude all the time, about how he did that and pulled it off. And if he came back to America, he was going to get hard labor.
Yeah,
That was going to
for
be his
sure.
punishment, hard labor, like 6 months hard labor.
Right.
But I don't know, dude. Welcome back to Real State Conspiracies.
Yeah.
Real conspiracies.
I mean, it's it is what it is. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's interesting to think about and to dig into because
It can be
what
done.
if? Yeah, and
Especially
imagine
if you
doing
got
it-
money.
Well, back in the day, wouldn't it have been so much
Yeah.
easier to do
Oh,
it
yeah.
than now?
Dude, the fact
And
that they
then-
did not perform an autopsy on him, I don't understand that. The way he died, you have to
Right.
make sure there's no foul play here. Like, there's just no way. He's 27 years old, and he's laying in the bathtub dead. We're performing an autopsy.
Yeah.
Period.
You know he's pruny.
Yeah. How long did he lay in there?
What a thing to say.
Well,
He's awfully prune.
I mean, I ain't lying.
But after
What?
I watched the movie, I went down that rabbit hole and
Yeah.
watched a bunch of stuff, and there's a lot of conspiracies about him.
What a
Even that he
legacy.
went on, he was like an informant. He would go to all these parties and turn around and give the FBI information on people. Like, yeah, who was the guy that painted the fucking camel soup can? What's his name? I got this phone so I could talk to God.
Warhol.
Warhol. Like, he could come in and be like, okay, all these people are hanging out there. You know, they got drugs. You know,
What
you
a
can tell them what's
strange
going on the
scene.
inside.
That scene in that movie is just
It's
like
like
what
fucking
the
Fear and
fuck?
Loathing, dude.
It is. It is, dude.
You expect to see Hunter S. Thompson is sitting around in there.
Yeah, because he's like, who did he say he got the phone from?
Some woman gave him the phone as a gift, a golden phone.
Yeah, and you can talk to God, but I don't have any questions for.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, so
I
here
want to
I'm gonna
give it to you.
you.
And then he gives it to a homeless guy.
Yeah,
Dude's like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this?
talk to God.
I'm asking you to
man.
spot me a tenner, dude, and you give me a fucking rotary phone. What do they call those? Was it a rotary?
Yeah, a solid
Anything?
gold
Yeah.
rotary phone.
But I don't know, of course, if that's true, but it's cool to, you know,
Yeah,
I want it to be true.
I do too. I want it to be true, and I want it to be that the band knew about it and they got together and continued to record, and they're just not releasing anything until the last member passes. And then,
Is the drummer still alive? Because Ray Manzarek died. Robbie's still alive.
yeah,
Him and
is-
Robbie were tight.
Yeah,
Tighter than some of the others. Like, remember he made him take that acid. He's
yeah.
like, come on, man, one more time. Just one more time. Trip with me.
He's over there cheesing too.
Could you take I've never had acid before, but I have played a show, and I can't imagine
Screaming on that.
just taking something, especially like the music would just, you'd be in a
Take you
trance,
away.
dude.
Yeah.
How
I
do you
forget what-
perform on acid?
Dude, I don't. Well, we
It's just some
saw it.
low-grade acid.
Yeah. She said, "You're gonna pick before me, you piece of shit."
Yeah. What do you mean we saw it?
Huh? Oh, we saw him perform on that shit. There was Indian ghosts on stage, and he was doing a rain dance.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was in the crowd dancing around the fire. Then he was back on the stage dancing.
Dude, I watched him do interviews on acid on YouTube.
Wow.
He told a reporter, like, I'm a little fucked up right now. Took some acid.
Could you imagine doing anything on acid
No,
other than like?
I
Fear
wouldn't
for
even
your
want to be
life?
alive on acid.
We should do that. We should do the
Acid and do the
pod.
podcast?
Oh my! We all get together in a room, and we do it, and we wait about 3 hours, and then do the pod.
You know, if you take acid, you can never work for the FBI or the CIA.
I never planned on it.
I don't know, man.
I never
I
planned.
mean, if they
I
show
could
up
see-
tomorrow,
I
I
could
ain't
see-
turning the job down.
I could see Griffin walking down the darkened streets of Moscow, relaying information on his
Yeah.
comrades.
I mean, whatever has to happen happens. But anyway, I would be interested. I would be okay with it. Now, other people, that's a different story. But if we had like a man treat, like a retreat for men,
I
a
know,
men
I
treat.
know what that is. Explain it to me.
You know what
A
I'm
man
saying?
treat. And we're not
Yeah.
talking about a little gay guy like a man treat. We're talking about a man. We ain't talking about a manlet.
Well, we might bring him with us
Yeah.
just to like
Give
keep
him
us
some
in
acid.
check. Yeah, keep him
Try to
satisfied.
convert him.
Yeah.
We're gonna fix you. I actually saw something recently where they were giving people drugs to try to convert them from gay to straight. I saw an
What?
article that said that, and I was like, "What?"
That's fucking
They they're
weird.
giving them DMT, man, trying to get them to have a break on food. I could just picture us doing a podcast, just sitting in a circle. No, we got to go out to the desert. We'll take the Zoom. We got to go out to the desert. We need a tambourine, a triangle, and a
some
bell.
bongos.
And we'll be out in the desert. This is the end.
How about a sitar?
Yeah.
Trav's over there sweet picking on it.
Yeah.
It sounds weird as fuck.
And to him, it sounds amazing. He's like writing it down, recording, like, and we're just like, sounds like a bunch of notes, dude.
It would be interesting.
I
If
will
we-
say this: there's if I have to take acid, I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
Yeah, same. Same.
I take it with y'all.
Yeah, same.
It's happening.
And I wouldn't tell anybody.
Let's do it episode 300.
Okay.
Oh, dude, I don't know. I'm already nervous.
Where are we gonna get a hotel room somewhere?
Where are we going to get acid? You know what I'm saying?
We can find some.
Yeah, we probably know a guy.
If we don't know a guy, he knows a guy. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm sure we can find some.
Talk about scary, dude.
You think
I'm
so?
already nervous.
I mean, as long as, you know.
I got some demons, man.
Well, I mean,
I
I
don't
got
know.
some too, but you know.
I ain't trying to meet them.
Well, that's what the recording's for, so you can work through them later.
Yeah.
Me and Trav sit there like, Adam, what are you talking about?
And then I just jump off a building.
We're not gonna do all that.
Y'all
We
gonna
need
stop
somebody-
me?
We need somebody to lock us in a room.
Dude, I'll open the window and you'll be like, you got wings, you can fly.
I don't think it makes you hallucinate though. Not like that.
Acid?
Yeah.
What?
I've talked to people that's done it, and it's not like.
That's some low grade.
So we're
I'm
taking
talking
the
high grade, dude. And I'm taking like 4 hits.
So we're gonna be like in the fucking Beatles cartoon.
Yeah. Would you like some acid, Griffin?
Come on, baby. Let
You
me do
fucking
acid with Adam.
She's like, okay.
Yeah. Only if it's this one time.
Yeah. I'm gonna be. I don't want any. I don't, man. Nah,
Come on, man.
I made my mind up a long time ago. Nah, dude, I don't think that's for me.
What if me and Travis doing it and we're having a great time?
You know what I hate, man, is when you're hanging out with somebody that's done it a bunch and they like try to like just keep pushing you.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't really want to do it, man. They're like, but you have to. And I'm like, no, I don't. Are you gonna put it in my drink or something? Like, I'm just not interested.
Yeah. Would you be super pissed if you got dosed?
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, like, nobody intentionally.
Even if I
dosed
liked
you.
it, I'd still be like, who the fuck? Who did this to me?
They
Ooh,
put
somebody
like,
put some DMT in your cup.
oh my God. You're like, I'm seeing Jesus right now.
Yeah.
What the fuck is happening?
I am fascinated by the stories of DMT.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Same.
It's
Same here.
fascinating. But at the same time, I'm like, no, I'm not ready.
No. I don't know if
I'm
I'll
not
ever be
ready.
ready for
Because you
that.
got to be ready for that. That's
You
I
gotta
mean-
be a level. You gotta be a level of comfortable. That's
well, it's not every day you get to meet God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And from what people say, they meet God.
on the daily.
And God is like, you're going to die, and it's okay. You just got to accept it. And if you hold on to it and you don't accept it, there's going to be some issues. But if you accept it and you're like, okay, can't be that bad, right?
Well,
You break through, dude, and just float through a galaxy and just. That's so weird, man, that something can do that to you.
yeah. I must be running low on it because I ain't had any crazy ass dreams in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while, and I like them.
I mean, I'll have dreams every now and then, but it's
I
not
like having a
anything-
crazy ass dream where you wake up and you're like, what? It's like when you watch Donnie Darko or something, and you're like, I gotta like process this. I took notes.
Yeah.
know?
You're on the
When
line
you wake up from one of
researching.
those crazy dreams and you're like, what did it all mean?
Yeah.
Because I have some weird ones. Would you purchase a dream recorder?
As long as nobody else had access to it, absolutely.
Because you wake up in the morning and you're like, you hit stop on it, and she's like, let me see them. And you're like, let me go through
Yeah.
there first.
Yeah. No, that would be.
I don't want nobody watching my dreams.
No.
Because even I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, sometimes I have very vivid dreams. You know, this is what I
I
have a
do.
problem with.
They seem so real. You wake up, it's like, oh, thank God that's not real.
I have dreams about people, and then I don't know who they are, and I'll see them in public. You know, yeah, that's what's weird.
It is
Like
weird.
one time I had a dream about this chick one time, right?
Never seen her before.
No. And then I went to a restaurant and there she
There
was.
she is,
And I'm just like, what?
a girl
the
from my
fuck?
dreams.
Yeah. And I want to go over there and be like, I had this crazy dream about you, but I know if I do, then
She's
she'll
gonna
be
pepper spray you.
like, get the fuck away from me. Damn, my bad.
If I have a dream
That shit.
with cops in it, in a few days or something, somehow I'm gonna come in contact with them.
With what?
Cops. It's
Uh,
happened several times where I've
yeah.
dreamed about cops, and they either I get pulled over or I had a dream with a cop in it, and then a few days later, like one came into my shop one night. He was out here
Right.
driving around. He walks in. I'm like, oh shit, I knew it. He's
It
like,
was a
he was
sign.
just checking the place. I don't know, dude. They just sometimes you have dreams that kind
Yeah.
of, sort of come true. You know, like
Yeah.
I'm one of those people, man. If I get a feeling about something, I go with it, and it's usually right.
Yeah.
You just get a feeling, man, like the universe trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
And sometimes plays out.
Right.
I wanted to bring up something. This week, I was on YouTube. It was last night. I saw this. I was scanning down. You know, you're on the home page. I'm scanning down, looking for something to watch, and I see a titty. It's an album with a titty on it,
Oh.
and I'm like, is that a titty? And I click on it, and it's a titty, dude. And the comments were hilarious because it's like some kind of bongo album. They're just like playing
Right.
bongos. It's like technical bongos. Like,
Like that technical black metal.
yeah, like no, what's that? What's that one band? Oh man, the guy runs across the damn amps and shit.
Dillinger Escape
Dillinger Escape Plan. If they played bongos, this was the record. Cause it's shit, dude. It's like, whoa, I don't even know how you process this. But I clicked on it and I scrolled down the comments because I'm like, that's a titty, a black titty, and a nice titty too. Good nipple, you know. I scroll down and this one guy's like, the titty album. And he talked about how his granddad used to play it, you know, and he would always see. There was just all these comments about the titty album, and I was like, I don't think this can be on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I couldn't wait to talk about it. I'm gonna try to pull it up here and show it to y'all.
Well, I mean, this is my thing. I don't think titties should be censored
I don't think they should
on
either.
all of YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think that there should be like,
Age restriction, and they have that
yeah,
where it's
I
like this
mean,
is 18 and up. And I'm like, agreed.
well, they took that one cattle decapitation video off of YouTube because it was too graphic, and I'm like, but was it really?
it?
Well, I mean, you can watch like horror movie trailers and stuff like that, and scenes from horror movies that are just as bad. I mean, the song was called "Forced Gender Reassignment," so I'm
Well,
guessing
I
that you know
remember
what
that.
yeah, I'm guessing you remember what the music video was about. A forced gender reassignment, you know? But I guess because somebody kidnapped somebody and they were like cutting dicks off and sewing them to like women and stuff that it was too
What?
much. Yeah, that's what the video was about. So, you want to watch it?
I think I've seen it. Look, listen.
Pretty fun.
It don't make sense.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm gonna screenshot it. God damn you, YouTube. Now they want me to pay for screenshots.
Are they?
Nah. Dude, turn that shit off. Here, I'll pull it up. But yeah, the titty album.
If I get caught looking at a titty, I don't know what would happen.
You gonna get in trouble?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. What about you, Trav? If you get caught looking at a titty, is your old lady gonna admire the titty or be like, "What the fuck"?
Here it is. I'll delete it.
Depends on what screen. Oh, I don't. It's just an album cover.
Yeah, a titty, dude.
It's a titty.
Dude, I was scrolling and I was like, that's a titty. That's a YouTube titty. YouTube titties are the best because you know it's not supposed to be there. It's like
Yeah.
forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
And every time I see it,
I
I
mean,
click on it.
I can't believe it. It exists because it looks like it's an old ass record.
It's old as fuck, dude. 1970.
I like how it's all sweaty titty.
It's a wet titty. It's a witty.
Well, let's just. What if you went into a record store, honey, and this was one of the first ones you saw?
I'd
on
buy
the
it.
shelf? She said, probably pick it up.
Yeah, the titty
At least
album.
look at it, see what it's about.
Yeah. When I
Hey,
saw it,
Debbie, what you think? What you think of the titty album? My dog just looked at it and then just looked the fuck away. Like, yeah, like no, like what's funny is my dog legitimately gave it a hard look, but
It's like, I'm not interested.
I'll get away from this, and I won't talk about a Netflix scandal.
Okay.
All right, we got a Netflix scandal. So recently, I can't remember the name of the movie. I saw this in a video. They were talking about Netflix scandals. You know, they talked about Kevin Spacey and all that shit. But then they came across this thing. There's a movie on Netflix called Tall,
Mm-hmm.
and it's about a boy that dresses like a girl. He's one of those. He's a boy,
Yeah.
but he wants to be a girl, and he's going to school. And he's underage. This person, it's young. But he's like trying to be like a cheerleader and shit in this movie.
Yeah.
And of course, in the locker room, all the other girls giving him shit because he's a dude. Dude, they do a full frontal of this child. A kid.
So, and the kid's a man.
Yes.
Well, but it's okay.
But he's underage.
Well, it's okay because
It's not a girl?
He wants to transition into a woman, and it's okay to show your genitals, underage genitals, on Netflix.
Is it?
If you correspond with the current agenda that's happening right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.
And he looked like a girl.
That's
Until you
what it
see him
was.
with no shirt on, and you're like, yeah, that ain't a girl.
Yeah. But I
But
guarantee
they
you-
freaked out, dude.
Who?
Everybody was like, you can't show this. It's a kid.
Yeah. Well, and that's what needed to happen, man. I mean, and the actor's underage, correct?
Yes, it's a kid.
I mean, there's a difference between like artistic integrity and common sense. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they shouldn't have went there with it. They should have alluded to it, but they shouldn't have went there with it. You know what I mean? And you can do that artfully, and it be
Oh, it's just
okay.
called Girl. My bad. It's called Girl. I'm
What's
gonna show you a
the,
picture here, dude. Check this picture out.
Oh,
No, this ain't the full frontal. I'm not searching that.
yeah,
Looks like a chick.
it does.
That's a dude.
Could have fooled me. You know what I mean? But it's, I mean, since, like I said, since that corresponds with the current agenda here, then it's
Well.
okay.
They picked up some shit for it.
Well, I'm glad they did because, I think that, I mean, did it add anything or take anything away from the movie?
I didn't watch it.
Well,
I
I'm gonna
just
say
saw
no.
that there was a. Dude, if I watch that, that'll fuck my Netflix all kind of up. They'll be
Yeah, it
recommending
will.
shit, and I'm like, nope, not with it.
But I mean,
I'm on here trying to watch Adam Sandler, you know.
yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, if it would have been the other way around, if it would have been a girl that wanted to be a guy that was underage and they showed her,
So that
Full
wouldn't have been
frontal.
okay.
well, to them it would have, but to 90%.
Well, even
of the
me,
fucking,
dude, the fact that it's a child
Yeah,
and they do a nude scene, I'm just like, whoa, wait a minute.
yeah,
This is child. I mean, this is people go to jail for this shit.
yeah,
But it's in a movie, so it's okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, and because it supports their thing, what they're trying to accomplish too.
Yeah, if you save a screenshot from that movie on your computer, is it child
It's
porn?
kiddie
If you
porn.
have the movie on your computer, there's
I
a
would, I'd
there's a
like to say
line here,
yes.
like
Well, they're habitual line steppers when it's convenient for them. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
But God forbid you want to vape.
Oh God, you want to talk about that?
Oh, we can.
You want to talk about this vape thing?
It's a bunch of
I
bullshit.
read the post earlier. There's over almost 400 people have been diagnosed with this lung sickness from vaping, but it said only 20% of those people was vaping nicotine only. The others were vaping. Dude, it's the first time someone said this to me. I had no idea this was going on. I've been doing this shit. How long we been doing it, man?
Since what,
At least 7
2012,
years, right?
2013? Yeah,
At least every day.
yeah,
And before I switched over to the Nixol, I was putting a fucking 60 ml bottle away in 2 days.
yeah,
I can knock some juice out, man.
yeah.
I was vaping hard. And then the first time someone said this to me, they said, well, these people were vaping and they got sick. And I said, what were they vaping? Because
Yeah,
vaping means a lot. You
yeah,
can vape alcohol.
right.
I don't.
But you can.
They're vaping. It's THC, man. They're vaping these like bootleg counterfeit weed pens.
Yeah.
That's what they're vaping.
Well,
100%.
there's a lot of problems here. A lot of problems. The first problem is that it's been confirmed. The CDC themselves have came out and said, do not, under any circumstances, vape any black market THC
Because you don't know what's in it.
devices. Yes, that when the CDC comes out, that's a problem. Second of all, they think that if they get rid of these flavors, that it's going to cut down on teen tobacco usage.
Okay, baby. But, okay, all the flavors are gone. So here's what I can do. I can still vape. For some reason, menthol is not included as a flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. I guess because you can buy menthol cigarettes, so that's not included. Because when Juul got hit with the flavor ban,
yeah,
so now you can't get any flavors. Creme brulee, fruit medley. What was the other one?
mango.
Mango, which was the best one.
Right.
The mango pie, dude. And I sold them for a while. They're hot, dude.
Yeah.
It got to the point where that's all I bought to sell because that's all they wanted was mango pies.
Yeah.
And I liked them. It had a really
Right.
good flavor. Whoa, that was loud. It had a real good flavor. So they banned all these flavors. So then you could buy the mint, which was menthol, and the tobacco flavor. Tobacco flavor tastes like shit.
Yeah.
Here's what's gonna happen though. Ban the flavors, dude. I don't care. I will buy a 50-50 PG mix with just nicotine in it. I don't need a flavor.
Right.
It can be flavorless.
Yeah.
That's fine with me.
Well,
Fuck the flavor. I just want the nicotine in the device.
Well, what I think is going to end up happening with it is it's going to cause these underground sects of people that are going to be
It's gonna make it worse.
creating juice. Yeah. Of course it is, because it's not going to be made in some dude's fucking bathtub instead of in a fucking clean lab, facility where it needs to be made. I've made juice before, right?
Yeah, but you followed the rules.
Let's go back in time for a second here, Adam. So when we first started vaping, we ordered our e-liquid off the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Then they opened the first vape shop in the town that you lived in and that I worked in. So of course we go over there, we start buying our shit from them because they have more flavors, they have testers. You can go in there and try what you want, walk out with it. What happened? We got fucking sick as fuck off of this store
Off of
bought
Jerry's
shit.
juice?
Yes.
It was all right the first time,
Yeah.
but then he started cutting corners and trying to save money,
Yeah.
and I got sick, dude.
Yeah.
I
did
didn't go
too.
back and buy any more.
No, I didn't either. And then we started ordering it offline again. No problems. Go to conventions and buy it. No problems. I made the shit in my house, in this room back here. I had a fucking ultrasonic cleaner and some flavor, some PG, some VG, and some nicotine. And I made bottles and bottles and bottles of juice. Didn't make anybody sick. Didn't make me sick. Didn't make you sick.
Mm-mm.
Didn't make anybody that I gave it to sick. Because I knew what the fuck I was doing. I did tons and tons and tons of research on this shit. So,
Well, you did the research. You know the whole popcorn lung thing.
yeah, yeah,
You know, you was like, okay, we can't use these flavors. We can't use these. Like,
yeah. So, I mean, what it'll end up doing is it's just going to drive people to start. What's going to happen is there's going to be these, not even on Facebook, but these groups of people that are going to keep their labs up and running and continue to make these e-liquids and sell them illegally. That's what's going to happen. And how is that helping anybody? It's not. You're going to drive the prices up and you're going to cause people to do something that's illegal when it's perfectly legal to not only buy the PG, to buy the VG, to buy the nicotine, but you can also buy the flavoring as well. So what are you accomplishing?
nothing. You're just like, well, then you're risking this. Like some guys like, well, I'll make my own juice, and they don't do it right.
Yeah.
They don't dig as deep as you did,
No.
and they make shit that makes them sick.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's the sad fact of it. And do I think anything will come of it? I don't think so.
No, I think that because these people got sick, like it's in the news, so like something's got to be said. Like,
Yeah. But I don't think they're going to do a flavor ban. I don't think that the Trump administration is going to institute a flavor ban. I think that that's all just unnecessary responses to something that these people don't really know anything about. And they really don't. At the end of the day, like, unless you're a vapor, unless you've been down a similar road that we have, you know, what I don't understand is why, in the love of God, why are the tobacco companies not just giving in and doing their own?
because they could make money.
Yeah.
Do you think it's got something to do with population control? Like they
Probably.
want to push those cigarettes because that. Well, let's face it. If people get sick and die, it helps. It
Yeah.
helps. We can't have people living forever, dude.
Right.
That ain't good for the government. It ain't good for nothing. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it ain't good for food. You know, we running out of food. We running out of fucking space.
Yeah.
And we running out of Social Security money. Like,
Right.
so people, you know, I don't know if that's true, but I mean, dude. Okay, all right. Vaping's bad for you. That's what they say. I've
Mhm.
been doing it damn near 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm real close to 10 years, dude. Hey, my lungs work just fine.
Yeah.
Okay. This kid starts vaping 18 months and he's in the hospital and he's got the lungs of an 80-year-old man. What the
Yeah.
fuck were you smoking, dude?
Yeah.
Because we ain't smoking the same shit.
No.
Dude, I've never. Well, that one time with Jerry. And I don't buy, like, I won't go to the gas station and buy that cheap ass, you know, Chinese e-juice.
No.
Right now, I'm vaping on Charlie's Chalk Dust.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a reputable company.
Yeah.
They've been around a while. I feel safe vaping their juice.
Yep.
Monster. Or
Yep.
what was that band? I mean, that was it Monster? Is that Ice Monster? Who was the thing? The
Oh,
company that did the?
Jam Monster.
Yeah, that's a big company.
Yeah.
And I know, doing the vape thing, you meet people. I know a
Mhm.
guy's been doing it for like 15 years.
Yeah.
He's fine. Okay. All right, we got that. Tie a little bow around it. That's a little present for you right there. Cigarettes.
Mhm.
It says on the pack, this will cause cancer
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
And they don't ban that shit.
No.
Why not? Bad for you. Makes you sick. Why are we allowed to have it?
Because the government gets money off of it.
Okay, well, why don't they find a way to tax? They make money off of e-juice. They tax that.
Yeah,
There's
they
sales
started.
tax.
Yeah, they started. Well, and they started instituting tobacco tax into it too. Not in all states, but
Dude, if they want to tax it, I'm fine with it. Just don't. So you're telling me, okay, you're going to tell me I can't vape e-liquid, but I can smoke a cigarette?
exactly what they're saying.
Don't make sense.
No.
According to y'all, both of them are bad for you.
Yeah.
Why can I do one, but I can't do the other? It's my body, dude.
Well,
Dude, I have no negative side effects from vaping.
no.
Whenever you started vaping, and you smoked,
Mhm.
I didn't even really smoke
lot.
cigarettes. I do some nicotine from time to time. Depends on how drunk I was. But
Mhm.
I didn't even smoke regularly. But I wanted to vape. I was like, because I just didn't like the way it tasted. The smell, that's why. Because the nicotine's great.
Yeah.
It's like a cup of coffee, But the smell, the way it makes you feel, dude.
Yeah.
When you smoke cigarettes and then go to bed and wake up, you just feel like shit.
Yeah.
Because your
Oh, I
body's
know.
trying, you know what I mean? That
I do.
smoke a cigarette right now, dude, you'll feel like shit tomorrow. You'll be like, man, I feel terrible.
Yeah. Confirmed.
And then like how I always notice this about people that smoke. You got sick more when you smoke, right?
Mhm.
You get sick more.
All the
And
time.
and not feel good and be all stopped up and have respiratory infections. And
Yeah.
so as soon as you stop smoking cigarettes, you move over to vaping, start feeling better.
Yeah.
Get your taste buds back. Now when you smell a cigarette, are you just like, ugh?
Yeah. I mean, I deal with it because I know how it is. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on the brand of cigarette. But I will say this. My whole life, dude, I like the way a Marlboro Red smells.
Yeah.
I love the smell of a Marlboro Red. And that one Camel. You remember that blend that they did?
Yeah.
The smell of that. It's good. It's
Yeah.
kind of like some old pipe tobacco.
Oh yeah.
Got a good smell. But when I can be in a room, dude, and someone lights up a cigarette, I can tell you if it's a Marlboro Red or not.
Mhm.
Because a Marlboro Red's got a certain smell to it.
Yeah.
Or just a Marlboro. But the red, dude, I'm like, somebody fucking spent $6 on a pack of cigarettes because
Yeah.
I smell a Marlboro. So I do like the smell of that. But then that after smell that's on their hands,
Yeah.
or people bring computers to me sometime, and I can tell that they sit on the computer all night and smoke, and it'll just be caked in nicotine,
Yeah.
tar, like just caked up, man. And I'm like, dude, this is what inside of your body's doing. Like it's the same. Like
Yeah.
you're filtering this shit through your lungs.
Yeah. I mean, I've been living here since I started vaping, and they ain't no tar buildup in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
I know you've seen it where they take the picture off the wall and there's a
The
yellow
yellow.
square,
Yeah.
and that's like you're putting that in your body.
Yeah.
But the government says that's okay.
Yep.
But I can't put this in my body.
It's super, super bullshit.
Yeah, I don't even believe when they're like, well, 20% of the people it was nicotine on. I was like, I don't believe you.
No.
Because look, dude, what happens when you all right, let's say I'm smoking THC in my vape. I go to the hospital, I'm sick. I'm not gonna fucking tell them.
No.
I'm scared, man. I might go to jail.
Yeah.
They're scared. They don't want to say it, but they need to come out and say it because they just say, well, I was vaping.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were you vaping? Because vaping means a lot.
Yeah.
You vaping dog shit for all we know. What were
Yeah.
you vaping? It's nicotine. They're getting hold of. People are making these cartridges in their home and they're not doing it right.
Yeah.
We don't know what they're putting in that shit. And that goes
No.
back to this. If the government would get off their fucking ass and just legalize it so they can go to the store and buy it, problem solved.
Yeah, I agree.
Problem solved. Sell the cartridges in the store. There's your tax dollars right there. You know how much money they make?
So fucking much.
How much money has Colorado made? A shit ton. Millions.
Yeah.
Guarantee you, ever since they legalized weed, and every other state that did it because they saw they were like, whoa, wait, you're not in debt?
Yeah.
Oh, we got all this weed money coming in. I don't understand why you can smoke tobacco, but you can't smoke weed. Well, it gets you high and it alters. Yep, well, alcohol.
Yep.
You can drink that, but you can't smoke this.
Yeah.
Something ain't right here. You know why, man? They make way too much money off of arresting people,
Yeah.
locking them up, color code, whatever.
I honestly think that they would make more money if they would legalize it. Because think about the people that you know and that I know that have done it for years and years and years.
And they got to go black market. They don't know who it's coming from. They
Yeah.
don't know what's on it.
Yeah.
They might have embalming fluid on it. You don't know.
Yeah. But there's people that we know that's never been caught, never been arrested. They stay home, they do it. You know, they get it from somebody they trust.
They
I mean,
work.
yeah.
It's better than alcohol. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
But the government will let you drink yourself to death,
Yeah.
but you can't smoke a joint. Give me a fucking break.
Of course not.
These some old ass laws, dude. This is like those laws where they're like, you can't walk down the sidewalk and chew gum on Saturday. Like this is,
Yeah.
you know.
It's bullshit.
But this whole vaping thing, fuck them. Dude, they can take all the flavors away and I'll just vape flavorless PG or VG, you know, because I'm doing Nick Salts. It's a 50-50 always.
Yeah.
I'll just vape it flavorless because after the first tank, I mean, I'm about halfway through this bottle. I can't taste it anymore anyway. There is no flavor, so
Right.
that's fine with me. Still gonna do it.
I can still taste some flavors. I'll end up making my own if it comes down to that.
What I'll do is I'll just buy, if they ban it all together, I already got a bottle of nicotine, dude. I
Yeah.
got you, man. If the shit goes down, I've got 1,000 milligrams. That shit's
Oh,
gonna last forever, dude. It's in my refrigerator.
Yeah.
It's medical grade. I got the good shit, dude. It was like $400. 1,000 milligram. I can make juice, dude, damn near probably for the rest of my life off of that.
Yeah.
Now it's got a shelf life of about 7 years,
Right.
what they say, but I got it in the fridge, you know? I mean, dude,
Yeah.
does nicotine break down? Can you?
That I'm not sure about. Well, I'm about to have to skedaddle out
Yeah,
of here.
well, what we're gonna do? Here's what I was thinking. Trav's gone, but I'd like to mention we'll watch the Doors movie. I want to say after the Doors we do Spider-Man. I know we got Swiss Army Man coming up after it, but I want to
No.
put Far From Home in there.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine
And
with that.
after that, I watched the Yesterday movie. We might even tack that on at the end of what we already have, because I got a list over here.
Shit, that's cool.
I
with
think
me.
y'all should see it.
I want
It's
to watch it.
yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's a cool idea. You know, we already talked about it, but
Yeah.
I like
like
to
the
tack
Doors.
Yesterday on. And
Yeah.
but I think after the Doors movie, we should watch Spider-Man because it dropped,
I'm down.
and I've been wanting to see it.
Well, 2 of the 3 agree, so it's happening.
Yeah.
but
But yeah,
I mean, we didn't get to do it this week, but that's the good thing about doing a podcast.
yeah, dude.
We talked about movies, we talked about music, we talked about life. What's better than that?
We talked about vaping.
Yeah, I mean, same shit that we always talking about when we ain't even podcast.
But yeah,
That's
guess
all
that's
I
it.
got. Yeah, I mean,
Keep it real. Checks in the mail.